In this video, we're going to look into more detail at what is input and output. In simple terms, input is any peripheral device which is sending information into the Raspberry Pi, whilst output is something which is using information received from the Raspberry Pi and showing it in some way. Let's start by looking at the simplest of the input devices we have, the button. First, connect the button to input D4 on the Grove Pi box. Here's some code I've already written in a class called button input. You'll see at the top of the page I've imported some essential Grove Pi libraries that I'm going to be using. I've got a main method inside the class, and I'm instantiating a new instance of the Grove Pi object. I've also got a new instance of the button sensor class called button. I'm also running a while loop continuously, while true. Inside here I've got an if statement, if button is pressed. What I want to do in here is print out a message to say the button's been pressed when it's pressed. So let's do that now. System.out.println button is pressed. Now, this is all good, except this if statement is going to run continuously. To avoid multiple messages being displayed, we want to add a little while loop at the bottom here, while button is pressed, with nothing inside. This makes sure we only get one message appear per button press. If we now press the button, you can see the words button is pressed appear. And now let's look at one of the output devices, an LED. Firstly, connect the LED to digital pin 3 on the Grove Pi board. Now, in my program editor, I've made a basic class called Light. I've imported various Grove Pi libraries that I'm going to be using in the tutorial. And I've also got a main method, where, as before, I'm instantiating a new instance of the Grove Pi object. In this case, I've also created an LED object, and in this, I'm getting the device factory to create the LED on digital pin 3. Note, that's the pin we put the item into. Now, I need to set digital pin 3 as an output. To do that, I'm going to type grovepi.pinMode. I'm going to say digital pin 3, because that's the pin we're using, and set pin mode to output. Now we want this code to run continuously so that the LED remains on. So I'm going to do led.setState true. Note we've used the word true here. Digital inputs can either be on, true, or off, false. Compile and execute that code, and we can see the LED has been turned on.